In this video, we're going to discuss the universal collective energy for the Virgo full moon, which falls on Monday, March 9th, 2020. Welcome and greetings. Thank you for tuning in and watching Medium Tarot TV Plus. Feed Your Soul video subscription service. For suggested videos, go to my website, Ragosta.community, if you're watching on YouTube. Go to link Medium Tarot TV, and there will be all the free videos to view, including this one, and the theme healing songs, and where you can subscribe for more. All right. So, videos to review would be anything that's on that link would be current, including the zodiac year 2019, the zodiac month of Pisces 2020, and we're going to pick up where we left off with the current week energy. And just keep in mind that everything discussed in this video is an influence for the entire lunar month, and that would be, see if I can read my handwriting, March 9th through April 6th, 2020. All right, so the technical week energy is March 9th through the 18th, where the 18th is a day where the 2 week energies blend. And here we have the energy of loss, Loss. And it is a mind energy. It's the element of air, the conscious mind. We are still working on clearing, because universally, collectively, this is the end before we start anew and fresh with zodiac year 2020 with the Aries new moon coming up at the end of the month, March. So it's all the clearing of the debris, and this is part of it. We think of things that we have lost and the loss that we have experienced or are experiencing. And we very often feel like we are confined, where we can't make a move, can't think straight, clearly. And if that is the case, please take the time. It's definitely advised to get more proper rest, or more than is your norm if it's not enough to begin with. This is not really a time to extend ourselves, because then our physical health would pay the price, unfortunately. I was going to say something, but hopefully it'll come to me. All right, so this is the energy where it could be said that it's like walking blindly or sleepwalking. Now, the energy influence is Jupiter in Gemini. Gemini, the energy of the twins, suggests 2. So if we're trying to do too much, we should narrow it down to 2. 2 options, 2 choices, 2 directions. Keep that in mind, okay? 2. This is not a time for us to try to chew off more than we can eat, or eat more than we can chew. It's just a time for us not to overextend ourselves. Proper rest, relaxation, meditation, whatever, okay? Add it into your day-to-day routine schedule. And in essence, it is sorting things out, getting the proper perspective for us. Now, the day energy is actually the same energy. And this is because it was a double dose, double whammy. This is where we received the first theme healing song, but I'll get to that towards the end. First, let's take a look at the what's going on during the day. So, we have the moon in Virgo, of course. We have the full moon in Virgo at 1:48 p.m. Eastern. Well, I'll get to the degrees when we get to the theme, psychic insight theme. The planet Mercury, which rules Gemini and Virgo, goes stationary direct. I was going to say technically direct. I guess the term would be stationary direct at 11:49 p.m. Eastern. And the color of the day is lavender. Now, quickly, just let me say there is what is known as the shadow effect, pre and post of any Mercury retrograde period. And we're going to start to feel the relief of this Mercury retrograde on Tuesday, March 24th, when we have the Aries new moon and Zodiac year 2020 launches. I'll just leave it at that for now. Okay. So things will get progressively better. It is true that with Mercury retrograde, those who have, if you're astrologically inclined, those who have Gemini or Virgo rising or as their ascendant sign, myself included, we are directly hit. I just sunk your battleship. Directly hit by Mercury retrograde. And everyone else is indirect or is clueless. But it is what it is. What it is, what it is. All right. Can't stop our lives, but things will get progressively better now through that date I just said, March 24th. Okay? That doesn't mean I still think we should allow extra time for everything, double check, triple check things, appointments, schedules, and then go with the flow and allow things, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Less wrinkles, and we won't pull our hair out. I know. Very good. So, with that, that's a double dose, double whammy of energy of loss. So, is this going to be an emotional full moon? Yeah, definitely. And I'll come back to that when we get to the theme healing song because it's out of this energy loss, overthinking, which I can say because I'm a Virgo, is trying to talk ourselves out of something or into something, but it's not necessarily the truth. That's what the mind can do, unfortunately. But, you know, the mind has great power, capacity. It's all how we use it. Justifying, I guess, would be the word, right? Justification. Not like I haven't been there, so no judgment. All right. Let's move on, but we will come back to that briefly anyway, at least. Now, take out the energy. Now, moving on to the psychic insight theme for this Virgo full moon. The full moon is at 19 degrees Virgo. So if you're astrologically inclined, look to see where 19 degrees Virgo falls in your chart. Birth natal and also your progressed chart, if you know that, and that's where it's going to affect us directly. So just backtracking just a bit for the week and day energy. The influence was Jupiter in Gemini. So if you have Jupiter in Gemini in your chart, natal or progressed, you're activating power and a trigger for this lunar month. And then for the psychic insight theme, that is the planet Venus in Virgo. Has to be Virgo because it's a Virgo full moon. If you have Venus in Virgo, you're activating power and a trigger. Birth natal and or progressed. Venus is the goddess of love, arts, aesthetics, nature, feelings, expression. Not really comfortable in Virgo. And just that energy alone, come to think about it, suppressing our emotions, which is a Virgo thing to do. I could say this because I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, leads us to, kind of points us energetically to the theme healing song. At least the one that is made public. So this is the energy of energy itself. So if you have watched the month video for Pisces 2020, let's see, that started on Tuesday, February 18th. We have this, with the psychic insight theme, is the same energy that we have for part of our month energy. So we're going to do a quick review, though it's definitely suggested to watch that video for the full details. So this is the energy of energy itself, and whenever one energy is in focus, kind of like nudges the other energy. So it's a slower moving energy for the month. That with Mercury retrograde, and it's the end of the zodiac year. We all want action and activity, though it's suggested to do what we need to do so that when spring is sprung, which is March 20, was it 24th? Yeah, we're ready for Freddy. We're ready for action. So it's a slower moving month. It's a Sagittarius energy. So if you are a Sagittarius sun sign, you're activating power and a trigger. But it's a slower energy. Sagittarius does shoot an arrow for an aim. So what's our goals? What are we working towards? It's an energy of integration, all the pieces of the puzzle coming together, putting things together. Mm-hmm. It's alchemy. It's things coming together. And then with this energy of energy. Uh, Venus in Virgo, I would say, is very refined, posh, um, fancy, definitely. But the question beckons: where are we heading? It's a direction for our life. Where are we heading? That's what it comes down to. So, still got a couple of weeks to get our act together before March 24th, the Aries new moon, and Zodiac year 2020 launches. So, let's get on course if need be. Mercury is still technically in the shadow, so let's do everything with RE. Realign, reassess, review, whatever is needed, necessary. Now, before I get on to the theme healing song, the week that this is going to be in our face is March 6th to the 12th. All new moons and full moons has got a weak energy. 3 days prior, the actual day, 3 days after. Of course, and then there is the actual lunar month that we're talking about. In this case, March 9th through April 6th. All right. Now, let's get to the theme healing song, which is my favorite part. I heard the words, "Big boys don't cry." Have to whisper it because if you're familiar with the song, which it's called, let's see, I'm Not in Love by 10cc, which came out 1975. I was a wee lad at the time, but I do remember hearing the song. It was extremely popular at the time. Uh, at the end, there is those words, lyrics, "Big boys don't cry," but it's whispered. But I specifically heard that, and that was, it has to do with loss. It has to do with talking ourselves out of being in love when we are in love. So that's loss. Um, many of us have been there. Many of us have experienced it. Either side, loss is loss. It doesn't matter. Now, loss can be any type of loss. It doesn't have to be romantic love. But matters of the heart, you know, Virgos, I can say this because I have a lot of Virgo in my chart. We tend to hold back or hold in, but that doesn't mean that we don't feel. um, our problems do arise from holding too much in. It's a learning curve. We all learn, right? Learn, grow, and evolve. All right. So that song will be, that's the main song. And there is actually a wonderful female version of that song by Fergie, "Big Girls Don't Cry," parentheses, personal. And I believe that was released in 2007. Not sure. But anyway, that's a great song as well. That would be the female version. So it's always nice to have perspective from both views. So they would technically be the theme healing song for this full moon. Basically, if you need to cry, please cry. If you need to do it behind closed doors, so be it. But if you do need to express your emotions and your feelings, it's highly suggested that we do so. Okay. And then for subscribers to Medium Tarot TV Plus, there is an additional theme healing song. It's the higher vibration, which would be connected with direction for our lives, for our paths, and also some extra videos that I found that were energetically appropriate and would be beneficial. So, bottom line, final words, final thoughts. Let's allow ourselves to experience whatever loss, whatever needs. Full moons are typically a time of healing anyway. Virgo is it's a DIY type of sign, a zodiac sign, like do it yourself. So self healing, not self medicating, but self healing. That doesn't mean you have to do it by yourself. If you have a trusted person, friend, mentor, advisor that will listen, that will lend you an ear, so be it. But letting the emotions, letting the energy out. So I just remember what I was going to say earlier about being physically ill. Disease is dis-ease in the physical body. If we don't get the energy out, it eventually causes a problem physically. All right, I'm glad I finally got that thought at the end. All right. The month energy also suggests that it's a great time, not that we need any excuse, but it's a great time to connect with our guides. I was raised Catholic. They called them guardian angels. I call them spirit guides now. Same thing. It could be, whoever's uh, passed over. It could be Uncle Tom. It could be an archangel. Doesn't really matter. Family member, friend, loved one, angel. Doesn't really matter. As long as the energy is of the light. It's all that matters. So let's allow this to be a healing time. And like I mentioned, since we're at the end, we've got like 2 more weeks to go of this winter energy. It is technically clearing. It is technically spring cleaning, getting ready for spring, which would be March 24th, according to my calculations. Because we're going by a lunar cycle, not a solar cycle. All right? Big boys don't cry. Big girls don't cry. But men and women do. I'm going to leave that. All right. Let's have the best month possible. Thank you for joining in and watching with us. And go to my website at Ragosta.community, link Medium Tarot TV for more videos where you can subscribe. And also, if you'd like a reading, psychic reading session with myself and my guides, go to my website, Ragosta.community, link readings. There are my current rates where you can see me in person. And you can also go for put in your request for a telephone reading because I'm in a temporary space, so I'm only doing telephone readings at this time. All right, have a great one. I hope to see you real soon in another video.